Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and Mark Rosewater is back at it again, trying to explain how the heck Midnight Hunt happened, and how we're stuck with an overpowered, control-heavy, board-wipe show of Standard for yet another year. Happy late 2022, everybody, when maybe Magic will be playable again. So, first question. Somebody asked them, could you discuss designing a set around the graveyard and why you thought that was a good idea? Oh, wait, I misread that. They said, is there a graveyard set template and what sorts of things do you do to depart from it to keep things fresh? And he says, obviously, we have a default template, which I showed off in this year's Nuts and Bolts column. I don't remember that, but okay. There are templates we use to capture color representation, usually with the multicolor sets, as there is a lot of moving pieces. I'm assuming meant to say there are a lot of moving pieces when making a multicolor theme set work, especially given the mana resources necessary to support it in various formats. Or you could just stick to the color pie or just print mono sets. I don't know why he's like, oh, it's so hard doing a multicolored set. When was the last mono set? In fact, let's ignore the last Return to Theros. When was the last mono set? So more, oh, it's really hard and game design is hard, but also we stuck to a template and it was really easy. And then they screwed it all up because now everybody has to run graveyard clearing because they overdid it. Shocker, I know. Well, he goes on for 6 paragraphs, and I honestly don't care what the answer is. They should never do anything with the graveyard to this extent. It should be the exception because that's where cards go to go away. We don't want to see a spell over and over and over again, and I thought it was bad enough with Green Warden that can cast, or I guess play, Evolving Wilds every single turn for a double landfall effect. Oopsies, and then they brought back Flashback. It's like, nah, too much graveyard shit. And then, obviously, like I said before, they realized that they brought back too much graveyard stuff and it was way too powerful, and the recursion was basically like starting the game with 14 cards in your hand. And so then they put in like graveyard clearing in every color, plus I think colorless too. So now you can't even really run the graveyard mechanics because people are too busy picking crap out of your graveyard. So it turned into an arms race that's dead on arrival. Good job, guys. Ooh, maybe next time let's interact with the Exile pile. Ooh, that went well with BFZ. Next question, why isn't Delver of Secrets getting a showcase treatment in Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and why the hell did you print it instead of banning it in other formats, you absolute morons? Or something like that. There was a lot going on in the Magic set and blah, 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 blah. We can't make them all showcase. Who cares? What a stupid question. Paraphrasing, of course. He also kind of hinted that, like, we don't just make it powerful cards, we make it like a subset, like werewolves or stuff involving day and night. There was 2 major subsets, and that's what they did in this one. So Delver wasn't in either of them, and I'm sick of getting hit for 6 on like turn 3. Next up, where did the idea of the Coven and Witches presenting a pre-Avacyn side to Innistrad come from? What, did Avacyn ban witchcraft, but she allowed werewolves, demons, vampires? Like, really? The lore of Innistrad, the more I learn about it, the stupider it gets, and I honestly hope a comet hits and just wipes out all life there. And unlife. We need like a Urza's Ruinous Blast, like a spike the Silex and take out half the planet thing to happen. So he says that was an idea the creative team had very early on, I think even before vision design began. So you gotta wonder about that, because that's not the order he said it happens in, but that tends to be the order it happens in. From the very beginning, when trying to figure out what the green-white human archetype was going to do in the set, we knew that we had to capture the feel of witches and witchcraft. Why? Because it's releasing close to Halloween. My best guess as to where it came from was that the creative team was trying to explore elements of gothic horror that we hadn't tapped into yet. And that's the end of the paragraph, but what he probably should have said was, even though that isn't part of gothic horror. Okay, it depends how you define it, it depends how you look at it. But anyway, next question. Have you found that the well of top-down designs is starting to run dry on a 5th visit to a horror-themed top-down set? Basically he said no, because there's 1,000,000,001 different pop culture references to gothic horror and creepy stuff in Halloween, so no. What a stupid question. But then because Mark can't even like call a dumbass for asking a stupid question, he tacks on, but we thought Harvesttide Festival and the Wedding were like pretty unique. So we're not just following the tropes. There's 1,000,001 tropes and pop culture references that we, reference, but then we're better than that. We're smarter than that. We're so creative, guys. We are literally the greatest human beings on the planet. We're so innovative and everything we do is perfect. Yeah, we lost more than half our players in the last 5 years and had more bans than the entire history of Magic combined in the last 3 years, so that doesn't mean anything. I wish they'd get a clue. Seriously, the people who work there are such egotistical morons. Oh, here we go. This is going to be good. The next question. You consider Innistrad a great success and Ixalan to have some struggles. You've also said that tribal sets need glue like the changeling mechanic. No, leave changelings and shapeshifters the hell out of a tribal set. It makes them overpowered. Let me reference, to cite a source here, my freaking elf deck. Ultra mega spicy hot take coming. Tribal should only be for draft and sealed. It should not be very viable and constructed because look at what happens in the past when they overdo it. You should have creatures that can stand on their own, that just, they're powerful, they're semi-synergistic, they work with some stuff, they have semi-open-ended triggers, and then just go from there and let people build whatever the hell they want. Instead of you, Wizards of the Coast, building their deck for them, where it's like, oh, how do I build the werewolf deck? Oh, you pick the 10 best and put 4 of each of them in or something. Yeah, put some boost in, obviously, too. But it's pretty easy to boil down which are just vanilla garbage crap overcosted fillers in the common slot and which ones are, like, actually meant to be in a deck. And then usually when you put them all together, you get overpowered, blitzy, impossible to beat, loaded up to hell, +2/+2 garbage. And then everybody has to build around it. And then look what we have right now in the meta. A board wipe meta. Everybody's running board wipes, everybody's splashing white or black or directly running it to get a board wipe. There's even board wipes in red. Big ol' undo button. And remember, this is what Wizards thinks is balance. They think, oh, well, we made a way to stop giant tribals and really quick, rapidly dropping in a whole bunch of tokens, and it's all fair and good now. Well, what if I didn't want to be forced into running a board wipe because I want to run my own shit and I want to run my own, my deck and I want my creatures to stay in play? Oh, well, too bad because we had to balance out our overpowered tribals. Well, great, thanks. I thought this was a deck building game. If I wanted them to build my deck for me and the synergy to be already done and just building a deck on autopilot, I'd go play Keyforged. So anyway, they did say what makes Innistrad different that makes you like it more than Ixalan, aside from having 4 tribals instead of 5, which I didn't count them, but that doesn't seem right. Okay, I'm not going to drop this. Humans, werewolves, vampires, zombies, spirits. If anything, I'm missing one. You could maybe cut spirits, but I mean, come on, they have their own mechanic. It's spirits, come on. So Mark's ridiculous justification is Innistrad Midnight Hunt has a tribal sub-theme built into it, but it isn't much of a tribal set. Oh, really? Really? Well, I guess I didn't get many elves from it. So, I mean, if that's the bar, it's a defective pile of garbage. I can't even pale in comparison to my elves, but that probably shouldn't be the bar. And not much of a tribal set when the only things that people built that primarily include this set are zombie tribal and werewolf tribal. Wow. Mark is an idiot. So then he goes on to say something that doesn't make any sense. For example, while you can draft a tribal theme, it's much more opt-in. What? Like you just think it's funny to run werewolves and there aren't any synergy or like what? Which, yeah, all the good werewolves are in the rare slot or higher, but I should say all the werewolf boosters. So, I mean, if he's talking about draft all of a sudden for some reason, even though clearly the question was about constructed, in my opinion. Yeah, the only werewolf synergy is, oh, the boost spells are the same color, because otherwise you're not going to pull the damn Lord's cards. Which are the ones that say +1/+1 are all werewolves, by the way. And I mean, the real, soft werewolf synergy is, in the mythic. We're talking Arlen Cord. We're talking that other faction guy, Corvald, or whatever the hell his name is. He's in the rare slot, I think. So, yeah, if you really want the big bad backup that makes werewolves actually good, you're going to have to go to a higher rarity, and then it's not playable in draft. I don't know how that's a defense of why Ixalan didn't work and why this did work. And by did work, they mean werewolves are overpowered as shit, and honestly, zombies are getting there. It's more zombies, skeletons, and whatever that other booster one is, because they, once again, printed too damn many Lord's cards. And then they undercut the entire Decayed mechanic by doing the puppet factory thing. So a lot of mistakes were made, and Mark Rosewater apparently is not aware of any of them and wants to reference draft. Oh, while also telling the people asking the questions that they're wrong and it's not a tribal set. Sure. He's like, blah, 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 it's not a tribal set unless all the good tribals are in the common slot. He pretty much literally said that. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said, look at the common cards. That's how you can tell if it's a tribal theme set. And then how many mechanical callouts are there to the specific tribal? Oh, so, okay, if they only print 3 Lords cards, then we're good. And then just generic instant speed boost double strike cards. Then it's fine. What an absolute moron. Next up, why wasn't Ren's number 13? Oh, God. They were introduced in Modern Horizons, a set in the distant past. That's how we got Sarah. I guess. All right. This is really just like humble bragging about how much these idiots know about the lore and how they're so great for following Mark Rosewater on Twitter and his shitty blog, mixed with ass kissing that keeps him from ever thinking he made a mistake. So good job, guys. You're ruining Magic just as much as Mark is. 50-50 responsibility right there. So it kind of doesn't make sense that she only replaced one tree friend and the flavor would have been great. What do you mean one? It's number 7. You just want 13 because 13. Your question doesn't even make sense. Wow, these people, seriously. Twitter people are amongst the least intelligent on the planet. Oh, wait till you hear Mark's reply. Actually, the vast majority of the first Modern Horizons, including Ren and 6, was set in the present. Sarah was the exception and not the rule for the set, and you're completely wrong. I actually pretty much read that verbatim except for the very end of that sentence. Oh, savage. All right, another reason we went from 6 to 7 is that we wanted to clearly demonstrate the forward motion. 6 to 13 wouldn't have illustrated any sense of pattern, and most players wouldn't have gotten that Ren has moved on to a new tree nearly as easily. I don't know shit about the lore or where it occurred, so I mean, there you go. That might be another reason, Mark. We do appreciate finding homes for 13s in Innistrad sets, even though he contradicted that directly in a question in the first part from my other video. But we do also want to make sure that when we put in 13, it fits naturally. Basically, last time he said it was a dumb joke and we don't really care about it. The next question. Hi, Mark. I'm sorry, the correct phrasing is, oh, hi, Mark. You were so close. So, hi, Mark. Why is there so little focus on the Emrakul aftermath? Oh god, spoilers. Geez, I didn't even start reading the story because I have better things to do with my life. I would have believed there were still alien horrors on the plane after that happened. Maybe even the Titan herself. Well, yeah, she is still there, isn't she? Like, I mean, no spoilers in the comment section, but did they reveal that she just, like, left the moon, or they don't know, or the whole like sun and moon and dawn and day and night thing, and then having Emrakul still trapped in the moon in theory because it's been what, a couple months or a year? Yeah, the bitch didn't leave. That's the whole, trapped in the moon part. That's the word trapped. And then what? She had nothing to do with the set whatsoever. I mean, are they even done with the story? I know they're on chapter 5. I have so many questions. Most of them could be answered by just reading the damn story, but yeah, a bit of a shit show that they just abandoned Emrakul completely apparently, unless they didn't. So Mark just says the entire plot of Midnight Hunt is built around the changes to Innistrad that were the direct result of Emrakul coming there. The events of Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon loom largely on what happened right now on Innistrad, but Emrakul is still in the moon. Okay, well there you go, confirmed. So there can't be any Eldrazi creatures as they are extensions of her. She's like right next to the planet. I guess trapped and suppressed in the moon, or asleep in the moon, or I don't know. I never read that chapter, to be honest. I know that she got trapped there by choice, which kind of implies that she could leave or had a way out, or I don't know. They aren't very logical creatures. They're intelligent, and she's the most normal out of the 3, but I don't know. And then he basically says, screw logic, screw the story, and screw what you want, screw continuations. We wanted to focus more on the gothic horror aspects of Innistrad and the cosmic horror aspects, so the story moved in that direction. We completely ignored Emrakul, so f*** you. Yeah, not surprising. They do kind of just do whatever they want, regardless of what anybody wants. Everybody wanted Nicol Bolas's shit, like, wrapped up 5 years earlier than it was, but nope. So next up, were there any other mechanics from previous Innistrad blocks that the team considered returning to this time? Yes, all of them. I'm pretty sure he already said everything was on the table. To prove that, he lists them all. Every single one of them. Morbid, Undying, Fateful Hour, Miracle, Soulbond. Oh, they should have brought back Soulbond. Delirium, Madness, Skulk, Meld, Emerge, Escalate. And then he comments on, like, if he liked them, whether they were going to bring them back, whether they were considered that kind of stuff. But boy, is this video long enough already. Next up, why was the decision to include vampires in Innistrad Midnight Hunt rather than keep the 2 sets more strictly separate from one another? In other words, should we expect werewolves in Innistrad Crimson Vow? I mean, I'm getting the impression they've made kind of statements that they split this off into 2 sets very late into development. And the storyline goes together because they didn't have time to write 2 separate stories, really. Well, they kind of said it like it was 2 separate stories, and they're like, well, if we wanted to split it, we could just kind of split this. Although remember, the staff has been known to cover their own asses, say, oh, this is what we intended the whole time, and lie to the fans. So just take that with a grain of salt. But he says when we were designing Innistrad Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow wasn't a thing yet, so it was designed as our 3rd trip to Innistrad. Oh, that's like a 5th different version of events. So Crimson Vow was going to be like 2023. Well, no. Logically, no. From what other staff members have said, no. And from what Mark Rosewater has said earlier, no. That is absolutely 100% not true. It started as one and merged, or it split to two. That's how it happened. They said that. I'm getting a different story every time I hear it from even the same staff members. So you know what? It was probably an absolute shit show. It was a mess. Nobody agreed. And now everybody's in cover your butt mode. So what else is new? Big egos out there in Seattle. I'm not even going to read the rest of this because it's all lies. Other than he says, yes, there will be werewolves in Crimson Vow. Probably because they started as one set. Another person. Hello, Mark. So close. The line is, oh, hi, Mark. Oh, comma, hi, comma, Mark. It's not hard, people. The set has many different mechanics: flashback, investigate, transform, and the new ones, day, night, coven, decay, and disturb. Day, night isn't new. Is such a high number of mechanics something we could expect going forward, or an exception for the set? Is this person some kind of idiot? Every faction or color combination needs at least one mechanic, and sometimes they do more than one because it turns out it's shit. That is so far into not new territory, but Mark does say it is on the high end. I kind of wish I had a full count now. I mean, it didn't seem to me like there was that many. But I mean, you go to like Devotion, well, that's all 5 colors, so like sometimes that happens. But look at literally any trip to Ravnica. That's gotta beat this on keywords. I mean, come on. Or keywords / mechanics. I should say mechanics. He says part of what's going on is that we made the choice to name some things that didn't necessarily need to have names. Told you day night wasn't new, and they did it before exactly verbatim. For example, in design, neither decay nor disturb started with a keyword. There you go. Sometimes stuff does stuff and they just don't name it, so really a lot of the sets have the same number. Next on the list of Mark Rosewater calling out people for being wrong and stupid, we've got, now that we've seen a card for the person hexing the poor cursed target guy, which I don't know what that means, will we ever see a card for him? What card are you even referring to, and what do you mean the person hexing the poor cursed target guy? A lot of cards and a lot of curses. You talking about the aura that attaches to the player? Whatever, I don't get the reference. Let's see what Mark says. One of the things I like to say is magic is a hungry monster. Yeah, with you at the helm. We make a lot of cards, so there's a constant demand to make more. When the players request something, we hear you. Oh, bullshit. Let's test that theory. Please ban immediately Waking of the Trolls, Scoot Swarm, Westgate Regent, Terror Grid, Prosperous Innkeeper, or any of the Johnny's Primate clones, preferably the white-green one, Elvish Warmaster, Spirit of the Elder Guard, Teleportation Circle, Xerath Sand, Vorinclex, Skeletal Swarming, Delina, Avalanche Collar, and Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. For starters, and then reassess the meta and make additional follow-up bans accordingly. Well, I'm one of the biggest voices in the Magic community by sheer view count and watch time. So let's see if Mark listens, because I know more about managing the game than anybody who works there, apparently. And so does just randomly pick anybody in the community. Literally pick any person. They could manage it better than anyone there. Oh, except for net-decking douches and pro players, my god. So he says, we have a lengthy list of cards that players have requested. How about ignore all of them and print something that's actually fair or fun instead of listening to these dumbasses? How about that? If enough people say they want something, it moves up in the list. See, he only listens to his own little bubble on Twitter full of ass-kissing dumbasses who think that he can do nothing wrong and just want attention. And this is the result. Mommy, I want more dredge in Modern Horizons 1 and 2. Oh, how'd that go? Did that result in a ban? Oops. I want Storm and Cascade and Popper. Oops. Okay, let me just remind you guys, let's just absolutely cut the bullshit and start speaking the truth here. What most Magic players want, and by most I mean the 1/3 that are net decking aggressive douchebags who don't care about fun, they just want wins. They want an absolutely broken deck that wins on turn 4 or 5 consistently, that they don't have to think about building and they don't have to think about playing. It just plays itself, wins the same way every time, so they can just rack up wins and free shit online and just win free packs and make money at F&M. They want the deck to be under $50 and stay legal for about 5 years, and then they want nobody but themselves to be allowed to run it. That's what the average Magic player wants. So maybe you should stop listening to them and giving them what they want and give them what they actually need, which is a stable, fair, balanced, instead of just, I want this hyper powerful card so I can just auto win with my commander deck. And then they're like, okay, and then throw it into standard. Like, I don't even need to count the different ways that there's things wrong with that. Next up, was Disturb only limited to white, blue, and black creatures? Maybe I am missing a green one somewhere or a multicolor, but I don't believe I saw any that had red. You know, you could actually just check before asking him, but clearly he has the same effort level as me. Disturb is the spirit mechanic. Oh, wait, hold on, back the train up. Are you saying that spirits are one of the tribals and that there's not 4, there's at least 5? Because I'm 100% sure werewolves, vampires, and humans are in the set. I could have sworn I saw zombies in the set. That would make 5, wouldn't it? Like, technically, he wasn't the one who said that there's only 4, but he also didn't correct the person. And this entire article has been Mark Rosewater correcting people, so I assume he's complacent in somebody saying that there was only 4 tribals. Anyway, Disturb is a spirit mechanic, so it only shows up on spirits, which are only white-blue. Oh, he even says they are the white-blue tribe in the set. Alrighty then, I guess it settles that. There is 1 single black spirit with Disturb. Oh, okay. He says, I'm not sure why. That is hilarious. Okay, next question. Why is Village Reavers templated differently from all the other werewolves and Avacyn's monument? Shouldn't it have haste and give all other werewolves haste? No, they're already slivers, you jackass. F*** you. If Mark says anything, and I mean anything, any answer other than they were already too powerful and fast, we didn't need to give them haste, holy shit, calm your tits, I am gonna be pissed. All right, the answer he gave was, here's my best guess. Oh, yeah. Oh, I wasn't involved, guys. I don't know what's going on. I just designed the entire set and half the cards in it, but I'm just guessing here. Yeah, he likes to pull that bullshit a lot. The werewolves all tell a story. Having 2 sides helps do that, so the flavor text is important on them. I assume the normal template didn't allow room for the flavor text. Oh, didn't fit on the cards, so we took away the... Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, Mark Rosewater tried to push it on, like, let's give every werewolf everything. You play 5 werewolves and they all have double strike, lifelink, unblockable. They're all flying. They have double strike, triple strike, pre-strike, super strike, last strike, indestructible. Let's give them f***ing annihilator. And then the testing and design team and everybody other than Mark who has a brain was like, Mark, I swear to God, if you don't shut up, you're fired. You know how somebody like keyed your car in the parking lot last week? Yeah, it might happen again if you don't shut the hell up about giving werewolves superpowers. He's like, fine, okay, fine. I'll take away haste. We'll give the players 1 extra turn to breathe before they lose the werewolves. Or board wipe. Because balance. But no. Oh, we had to flip the flavor text on, so we couldn't let him grant haste to the other werewolves. Yeah, bullshit. Next up, I already kind of peeked at the answer to this one, and it's pretty funny. So somebody said, was there ever an idea to use -1/-1 counters on either return to Innistrad? Or either return to Innistrad? I thought that was actually the name of a set. That's only the name of a set when they can't think of a better name for a set. You've said that you prefer to use them on crueler worlds, and an Avacyn-less Innistrad seems like a very cruel world. Now, I thought he would say, well, they didn't exist in the other 2 sets, so what would have made them come about right now? It's not like there's really anything new if you think about it. I mean, there's mutant creatures, but they didn't have that in Eldritch Moon. So unless like the witches resorted to a new type of magic or something that just somehow didn't come up in the last couple visits, I mean, that makes the most sense. But what he says is R&D really soured on the -1/-1 counter sets. It creates gameplay incentives that we don't like and makes sets harder to balance. Oh, so instead of removal, you just make the creature a tiny little bit smaller, and somehow that's less fair and that's less liked by the community. Really? Because we had semi-trample, arguably, with Afflict. We had semi-hexproof with Ward. We had hexproof again by having you have to target it twice. We've had semi-fire breathing, which either costs double or you can only do it once per turn. And all of those half measures have been extremely fair, balanced, and a good move for the game. So semi-removal, where you just kind of make the creature a little bit less of a threat but don't completely remove it. Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. Gameplay incentives that we don't like. What, fair and balanced standard? Taking somebody's overpowered 7/6 that they brought out on turn 3 and making it actually reasonable to deal with? You don't like that gameplay incentive? Well, f*** you. This is the level of idiocy that works at Wizards of the Coast, where they look at -1/-1 counters and are like, that's terrible. It's just awful. It's the worst thing ever. Let's bring back Storm instead and print 6 board wipes. So he says, we're not against occasionally using them on cards, especially in supplemental sets, but I don't anticipate us using them as a set-wide thing for a premiere set, or as the normal people call it, a standard release, standard set, anytime soon. Actually, the word premiere not only is extremely close to premium, which is their word for foil, but premiere sounds like it would be literally anything other than standard. I think actually if you pull up a thesaurus that also has antonyms in it and look up the antonym of the word standard, it'll say premiere. Like premiere, the opposite of mundane, special, not standard. So premiere is what they call standard. Now, there is a reason for this. He stated this once. It was in the statement where they lied to everybody and said, we don't plan standard cards for modern. We just pick up the pieces and clean it up afterwards. And then 4 months later, they came clean and said, we absolutely did know what the Eldrazi would do to modern, and we play tested it before it came out and did it anyway, deal with it. They literally came out and admitted it, and I absolutely dropped a tactical nuke on them in the video when they revealed that. But anyway, in that initial lie where they told everybody, standard is our product, everything else is secondary, we focus on standard, and everything else we just manage it with bans because that's how we manage eternal formats, deal with it. And then later they admitted what they really thought was we thought players would adapt, but we knew it would be a huge shift for modern. But anyway, yeah, that's where the term premiere came from, is that, like, this is our product. Our product from Wizard of the Coast is standard. Everything else is secondary. And I think they actually refer to them as, supplemental products, supplemental sets. He even just said it. So that's the deep, deep lore behind that. The final question, do you think the high disturb costs on a lot of cards we've seen is really justified? Well, nobody's playing it, so, no. He's probably gonna deflect and shift and sidestep again and say, well, for sealed, for limited, we did it this way. We didn't want to diffuse the power of removal. Even though zombies and graveyard resurrection, recursion, flashback. Let's see what he actually says. Having done Magic Design for as long as I have, I really ought to be fired. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. He said, comma. I've noticed some patterns in what players, on average, overestimate and underestimate. No, actually, we as a community are collectively smarter than you. It's actually the other way around. You overestimate Disturb, and you underestimate cards like Coco. In fact, Aaron admitted it. He said he thought it would be a stupid draft gimmick, not an eternal and modern staple that is unbelievably, ungodly overpowered. And then remember, they put a Coco in the set. Coco Clone Jr. Yep. But no, we're the ones who overestimate and underestimate cards. Sure, look at the ban list for the last 3 years, you absolute morons. The second anybody saw Aetherworks Marvel, they're like, well, that's going to be a problem. And then, like, a year and a half later, Wizards finally bans it. But no, we're the ones as players who overestimate and underestimate things. And we don't solve the meta in 1 week. No. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what cards are good. Wow, what an asshole. What an out-of-touch, clueless asshole. One of the big things they underestimate is late-game utility effects like Disturb. No, anything that prevents top-decking. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Anything that prevents top-decking and feels bad, man, I top-decked another freaking land. So cycling, activated abilities that cost way too much, monstrous, strive, mega kicker, multi-kicker, super kicker, just kicker, any of the... It's all just the same shit. Overload, literally the same thing. Anything late game that gets better is good. We know that. So no, the dumbass players look at the ability in a vacuum as if the card they drew, as if it was the card they drew and judge it through the lens of a normal card evaluation. What do they mean card they drew? Like, when though? You just said when they draw it is important, not just they drew it. Does he mean instead of off the top of their deck it's sitting in their graveyard? Because that's painfully obvious. Anyway, a flying creature for that much? That's a horrible card, except it isn't a card. Literally, he said, except it isn't a card. It didn't take up space in their deck. They didn't have to draw it. Yes, we get it. Late game value. Things other than top decking. Holy shit, we get it. Nobody's this fucking stupid. It's something free they get when they played another card, and I think it's a hard thing to evaluate. Okay, if you don't get out the good side of Disturb cards by about turn 5, you're already dead from Werewolves. So actually, you're the idiot, Mark Rosewater. You made weak dead on arrival shit that's only, a power grade for basically like low level common and uncommons in draft because you can't get shit going with werewolves in draft usually, unless you get a miracle pull and then just auto win the game in the rare slot, obviously. It's a shit mechanic. Nobody's building with it. Nobody's building with it because we know what the we're doing, unlike you. So, it's turn 9, but I can pull a 3-1 flyer out of the graveyard for way the too much mana. That'll stop a 10/10 Gigantosaur. That'll stop a flying Death Touch Lifelink Tarmogoyf Vampire with 7/3. Yeah, that'll do it. I don't think he understands the power level of Standard. I don't think he even plays the game. I don't think he play tested a damn one of these cards. So he says, so yes, I understand that costs like Disturb and Flashback look like they're too expensive in a vacuum, but also we undercosted Flashback on a whole ton of cards, so f*** you. Oh no, I misread that. He actually said some other bullshit that wasn't true. Yeah, it's overcosted, so you can't do it too early, and it's underpowered for what you're paying because it's a better than nothing cost. We are all familiar in the community with better than nothing costs. It's, oh, I have nothing to do, no cards in hand. Well, this is better than nothing. I'll dump all my mana into this, even though it's not very good, because it's better than sitting there getting hit. But that's all it is, and it's pathetic, utterly pathetic, against the power level of the Standard meta right now. So you idiots printed way too powerful of cards, and then shit that's kind of subtle or late game, little, suck out turnaround miracle. Oh, look at that, I bought myself enough time to get out this thing that's actually good. And the power level being horribly uncomfortable, control dominated, and just complete turn 4 blitz red shit and then unstoppable werewolves. You managed to do all that 1 second after rotation. So we're only going to get 3 more sets pouring gasoline on the fire already, and you refuse to put that fire out or even put a cup of water on it with a ban announcement. So another year of bullshit, another year of unplayable Standard meta, everybody. I can't wait for this. I'm so looking forward to it. It's got to all be a conspiracy or scam to sell people draft entries on MTGO and on Arena, right? They've ruined Brawl by mismanaging it. They've ruined Historic by injecting literally, not even kidding, 1,000 cards into it. Between the anthologies and the jumpstart and all that, it's actually closer to 1,500. They've ruined Standard Constructed, and all we have left is limited and stupid weird side shit like Momir. Well, that's where we are now. Well, I have no interest in playing Magic this year until we see a ban announcement, so how about Mark Rosewater, instead of writing all the stupid waste of time bullshit articles where you lie to us and then tell people they're wrong, how about you start working on powering down the next 3 sets and a ban announcement? Which he said before, I'm not responsible for ban decisions. That's not my department. Well, you're the one who made the mess. Why not clean it up? Is it because you're stupid enough to have caused it in the first place, so they don't think you're smart enough and don't know how to read the meta and how to, make sure everything's fun and enjoyable and make sure the customers actually want to buy your product and play it? Like, you're too dumb, so they're just like, fine, let the adults come in and make the ban decision as if they're that much smarter. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Let the community vote on what to ban. We're the ones suffering through this shit. We're the ones who know what we don't want to play against. Let us decide 4 weeks after every set comes out, 3 cards to ban. Let us all vote. Based on, tied to our DCI number and all on, a blockchain, use Ethereum tokens and the whole shit show. Get it super secure, set it all up. Only let people with, not DCI numbers, but accounts older than a year vote. And let us as a community decide what we want to stop seeing in our game that we're trying to enjoy and play and have a fun time playing. Because you morons have proven year in and year out and ban announcement and non-ban announcement and unban announcement that you have no idea what the f*** you're doing. Standard has been unplayable since roughly around either Tarkir or Amonkhet, depending upon where you want to draw the line. And I'm sick of it. And you're losing money because of it. So it's time to put someone else in charge than the people who have been just screwing it up over and over and over, year in and year out. Hopefully we see a ban announcement later today. I'll see you guys next video.